outside their vertical does not mean they're working with that vertical VP to close the deal. So like if I'm Chad Groves and I'm like, oh my gosh, my friend is an agency, I worked with them to get the deal in agencies. I'm not reaching out to the agency VP, I'm working with Max. So just because they sold outside their vertical does not mean they've worked with that specific VP. They probably worked with their own VP.
They work with their own VP. So they work with their own VP. But let's take Ben Bianchi. Ben Bianchi. So do you think in the case of Ben Bianchi, that $23,000, do you think he worked with
Rajiv.
Max?
My guess is he worked with
Kevin.
Rajiv on that.
Yeah, because these are all brand, probably worked with Rajiv. So if Max had no involvement in these deals, he shouldn't be paid on them.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to re-dump this list, and I'm going to put the seller for all of these in my head, and that's what I got to do. That's how I got to break down. And then I'm going to ask Rajiv, and I can even CC you in on it, if they were, if the VP which VP was involved in closing the deal.
Let's have a conversation with Rajiv.
Okay.
I find it more effective just to talk.
Okay.
And you see, for me, sometimes I'm not good at responding to Slack, and so I'd suggest that we just do another half-hour meeting.
Okay, let me get the data first. I could do it today.
Okay.
Let's see here. Agency. Okay, well, great example would be Jack Durkee. He had All In Management. That was an agency. Agency falls under Kevin Wagner. So wait, why would that be under Max? Yeah, I'm gonna do the names. I'll do the verticals, and then I'll do the seller, and then Rajiv can tell me.
We'll just make it a working session, and all of us. It's messy because of the history, but my simple brain was I wasn't worried about the VPs. Whatever the AEs get, add that up, and align it to the VPs, and the VPs will just get that. There shouldn't be anything different.
Okay.
But it's such a big number that we got to talk about it.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I was not comfortable. Our commission payout for this month was $122,000, and I almost fell off my chair. So I'm not comfortable dishing out that kind of money just in commissions. I feel like our payroll is extraordinary considering how small of an organization we are.
Yeah. And then do we have to do the same? I'm staring at Max's. Do we have the same conversation with Kevin as well?
No, Kevin's did not change.
Okay. So Max is another $15,000. That's a big number. We'll talk about it. Okay. Do you need a few minutes to move everything else forward? Because I know you said 2 o'clock.
What do you mean?
No,
I'm gonna just put in what I have.
Okay.
With the 4,400 for now, if you don't mind.
No.
And then I'm okay until we make a final decision, and then we can let Max know once we agree the right thing to do is.
Yeah.
And then that's when I'll hand him his commission plan. I don't need to give him anything now.
Okay. And are you all good? Can I talk about a couple other things, or do you need to do the payroll and get that in right now?
No, payroll's already done. I'm all set.
Okay.
I got up early this morning. I put it through. We're good. So yes, no. End of month payroll is the big one. That's what I have spent the most time on. But my work paper is done. Everything balances. Commissions are in. Commissions are uploaded on the drive. The sheet's balanced for Cindy. So we are in a good place.
Cool.
Yes.
Cool.
Right. But if you don't mind, I'm listening. I'm just going to finish this up quick.
Okay. As you're finishing up, I'll take things in reverse order. Cindy, on uploading the budgets, do you feel into NetSuite? Do you feel you're trained and able to do it?
I mean, we weren't trained. I just had to figure out what went wrong. And like either I'm gonna edit like what it says, like there's a bunch of like it says errors, and just fix that. If not, I had to reach out to Rob, and who was helping us.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Do you feel like you have if you reach out to Rob or through Anthony, you have enough support to make that happen,
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
That's ultimately my question: is are you
Right.
you have support behind you to help you?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. It's just
Okay.
gonna. I'm gonna try it first, and I did try it, and obviously, it came back with. I thought was good, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you tried it, did you try it today or was that another time?
I did today. Yeah.
Got it. Because Anthony referenced that it was that you were trained at some point or something.
There's
No, neither of them were trained. We have the ability to do it, but we have not been trained on it yet. But Rob is very good with responses, so I don't see why he wouldn't get back to us and get us on a call and show us how to do it.
Right.
Cool. Cool. Some things in my head. Just these are some tactical things. Referral agreements. You'll see. I just scheduled a meeting tomorrow. Joanna and Cindy, I invited you just if you want to get exposure. Just to clarify with Rajiv, it's literally a half-hour meeting to just sit down, go through the referral agreement, and make sure everything's clear. And if there's process changes, so we have a meeting for that. If you get a second, you can review in advance. That would be worthwhile, just so we have any of your thoughts in advance to incorporate.
Right. I didn't have access to that doc. He just gave me access just now. So yeah, I'm gonna look over it. I saw a few things. So.
You don't have access to the doc.
I have it now.
She does now.
Okay.
Yeah. He just invited me to the link that you sent. Yeah.
Okay. And this is so that's that. And then the big picture questions I have both. Again, I cut up with each of you last week to discuss sort of transition and how it's working, and I think there's a couple things in my head. I think I want to make sure I'm setting you up for success, and that me and Anthony are both setting you up for success. And so I was just thinking through last week, it would be valuable, I think, where I just want to use a couple minutes of time just to say, are the things that let's pretend Anthony got hit by a bus, and like he's not here, and we're all working through the transition together. But I just want to make sure over the next period of time that we are making sure that you get trained in the things that you need to do your day job. Like we talked about uploading budgets, we talked about revenue and reporting revenue. Like this team needs to learn how to do that. So I just wanted to get from you an inventory of like, are the things that I got to make sure that I got to work with Anthony that we collectively train you on, and that's what my goal of this meeting was. Okay. I just want to make sure we set you up for success and I don't let things slip through the cracks.
So I can go first really quick. The NetSuite is probably the only change that has impacted us. Aside from that, I feel like Cindy and I have a good swing on how to do everything. I mean, I've been doing it alone for 3.5 years. Then Cindy came on and jumped on, and the two of us. So we know the routine. The only difference would be adding, taking away QuickBooks, which I was well versed in, to NetSuite, which we're still learning.
Yeah.
I do everything exactly the same except for the deferred revenue schedule. Anthony wanted to take on the revenue recognition for the first couple months to make sure it's on point and it's how he wanted it to run. And once he was done with that, then he was going to kick it back to me and have me manage it so I could continue to do the commission plans and report the revenue like I used to do. So he knows that that's one thing that he has to show me before he goes, and he said he was more than willing to jump on a call with me to do that.
Okay.
And then the second piece is during because we have not yet integrated with Salesforce, we have to manually create a sales order, which essentially is inputting the contract into Salesforce. So I have a rough idea on how to do it. I've done it in the past. I'm just a little rusty. So I would be more confident if I was, retrained again. So he said he'll do that with me.
Okay.
Other than that, I'm good. Those are the two big pieces that I need to just brush up on.
Got it. Cool. Cindy, anything else? I mean, you brought up the with Claudia the Rev Rec. Anything else? We talked about the budgets that you're working through now. Anything else?
That's pretty much all Joanna said and that you know of. And also, like, Joanna, do you know, like, what happened to the new bank? Have we chose? Like,
we didn't. I don't think we selected a new bank yet.
Okay.
All I know is that the rate that we have right now is pretty great.
Okay. I know Anthony was working on that.
Yeah, the only negative is they don't do international. They do international pay, but they don't do international pay in different currencies. So the one bank that Anthony narrowed down, I think there was two of them that he was like very interested in that could do everything and had a great rate. And then one of them even had like a card, and Alan was more than happy to get rid of the American Express after what happened last week.
Right.
But I don't know. I feel like that's still in limbo.
Because
I do know the credit card link.
We spent so much time on that, and I'm like, I don't know if there was a decision made.
The credit card link has been made.
Okay.
That should be. Anthony said he was going to see that through. I think it maybe needs one more week to get implemented.
Okay,
see which through?
The credit card link. We hired a company to put a link on the invoice like we have with QuickBooks so they can pay via ACH and credit card.
Yeah.
And the type of organizations we work with, it's probably about a third of how we get paid, especially if somebody's really late in payment and they don't want to wait for it to go through AP.
Yeah.
They'll just put it on ACH like real quick and send it to me.
Yeah. And is that a link on the invoice? Right now you're trying to put a link on the invoice.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's a click and pay.
Yeah.
And in order to do that, what needs to happen? Don't we need to choose a new interchange company?
No, everything. The company is. We already found the company. I guess it was approved. I don't know, 3 weeks ago. Bob signed off on it.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
We just have to give them the go ahead, and they're gonna do it. I want to say Anthony said it was about a week out, but don't quote me.
Okay.
In order to do it, is that through the bank? Is that to do the ACH? What needs to happen to make that happen?
Them just do their thing. We link, we have to get to do the approval to link it, but we have everything that we need. They have our banking information and all that stuff. So, I think they just need approval from our bank to them.
And who's they?
The company that's doing the link.
Is the company's doing the link? Is that different than the Bob from Net? It's not that Bob, it's someone else who's doing it.
Rob from NetSuite? No, This isn't a NetSuite thing.
It's a third party.
Company.
Yeah.
NetSuite doesn't do any type of banking.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you know what's the company's name? I'm sorry.
I don't remember.
You don't
I'll
know.
check it.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm
Yeah, whenever you have time.
I'm checking my work here.
So
I'll look it up.
Okay. And I hope they run good reportings too, and I hope nothing hits through on deposit funds. I know we struggle with that a bit.
Rob is supposed to. I don't know. Somehow they're going to connect with Rob and make sure that all.
Yeah.
Anthony has it all in his.
I know.
Yeah, I can get the details on it.
Yeah.
But that's what happened with QuickBooks. It went to undeposited funds.
Right.
When there was a discrepancy.
Okay, good. Hopefully we're on the same page.
I think we're okay.
Yeah.
I think what was ultimately behind my question, do you have the inventory of the key things that from a NetSuite that Anthony was thinking about? One is putting ACH on an invoice, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are I know we talked about switching banks, but what other big things? There was a Salesforce integration.
Yep.
What other big chunks are there that we're thinking about?
I think that's it. He was working on the expense thing, but that's done. All we have to do is release it, and honestly, the sooner we do it, the better. So we can probably do it tomorrow if we wanted to, because expense reports are a big headache right now, and it's causing some issues.
Yeah.
So we have to change that as soon as possible. So I think we have the green light to get that moving. We just got to share it with the team. But other than that,
what's the issues that it caused? I know Cindy has the joys of putting it in directly now, but is there issue? Is that the issue, or is there something else?
well, yeah, it's approval. It's scouts entering stuff in when they shouldn't. It's receipts not come. We don't get all the receipts. It's duplication of expenses.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of things. I mean, there have been times where, we'll process pay and we have to question everything because it's not done properly. Or it's, I can tell you I get maybe 1/4 of the receipts.
Yeah.
And then I don't even know if it's being approved by the manager, to be honest with you, because they used to put the managers in there all the time and now they don't. So
the process is
it's not the right way of doing it.
Yeah, but the thing that's available right now is not the approval and the receipts. The thing that's available that Cindy showed me is someone can go into NetSuite and literally type in the amounts, but there's no approvals or any of that hasn't been built out.
Cindy, don't you have to put in the receipt with that?
There is a spot for receipts. I'm sorry. What are you trying to get to, David? I'm sorry. You're saying
in I know that expense. I'll just sort of go up expense input module. What's the name of the module?
For the expenses and.
Yeah, what's it called in NetSuite? Just so I can talk the right language.
It's just NetSuite. I don't know what do you mean?
There must be a module name where people put in their expense receipts. The way it's built out today, what features and functionality are built out today?
He wants to know if there's an approval process already created, or if you have to plug in a receipt. Like, how does it get executed? Other than them just going in and punching in their stuff.
I think punching in stuff, it would go to supervisor under their logins. And then accounting, me and Joanna, we would have to do accounting approval to push it through, and we probably get a list that pushes through, and then we make sure the bank matches. And there is a tab it's under communications where you can upload your receipts or anything back up.
Does it make it mandatory to upload receipts? I'm asking because I just haven't seen it yet. I just thought Rob told us way back when that
he can make it mandatory. But I don't know. I don't see in their side yet. I just see in our vision, how it looks in, me and Joanna can see it. So when I did it last month, I had to click on all accounting approval, and I missed one, and you couldn't I couldn't see on the other side. So that's what's happening.
Got it. Let me run something by you both and get your reactions. And let me just tell you where my gut is. I think my thought is on everything with where we are with NetSuite and infrastructure, we should put a pause on doing anything additionally until we have the new person in place working with you and all designing it together. Exactly, here's how it should work, and then you're part of the process, and we can figure out how to communicate to the organization, implement to the organization, put the controls and processes in place. And so my gut is, and then Anthony can do this stuff, but he's going to be, we're going through the transition, but
right.
I'm looking for, I think we're better off waiting for a new person to come in who's going to live it, going to own it, and going to help us to execute it the right way in partnership with you. And so my gut is to hold off on, even though it's not ideal, it's actually, I think, ideal on the long run of just hold off on this expense module, doing anything with it, just doing things the way we're doing it today, which I know isn't ideal.
I mean, I'm doing it. That's the thing. Like, I'm spending so much. And Joanna, you probably see it on your side too. Like, I'm putting individual people. Like,
it takes a long time to do payroll.
Yeah, I'm already doing it. Like, that's the thing. Like, people should put their own expense. It's the last step. It's already done. It just needs to go out to the people instead of me putting in their expenses. And I agree with you. If you want to go to the other person, I feel like we're still going to be in same position, and I'm still going to end up still doing these 100 expenses a month.
Got it. Let me try something else then, because I think there's two parts to it, and this is part of where Jonah was, where I was getting to is, if you're going to put in this expense system, there's usually receipts are required. You have a policy. It says here's when receipts are required and here's when receipts are not required. And that's a strategic discussion that I want to have with this team, and I want to have a perspective. There's IRS rules, but we should tell the organization when things are required.
Okay.
We should have a policy that's out. We should we need to understand like how you can actually upload documents.
Right.
And then we need to actually have it on people's phones so they can take pictures of it,
right,
to upload it. We're going to train it and build out the module. And so to do it right, those are all the steps. And then I want you to go to the organization and train the organization.
Right.
So those are all the steps that ultimately need to happen, which is a bit of a complexity.
Mm-hmm.
And I want this team to own it. And so that's what I'm mostly reacting to. I think if I'm hearing, if you got what I would be fine with, if it's important to you, of taking it in two steps. The first step would be, if it would just make it easier, not from a controls perspective, to have people put their expense inputs directly in there.
Yeah. It's just an extra step for Joanna, too, and for me. Like, she has to go on that spreadsheet, organize it by the people, right?
Yeah.
And putting it in, again, in JustWorks. When she can just pull a report from... And obviously, we're going to have to put deadlines. When are they putting it through in order to get into the pay? So yeah, that's a decision maybe you or Anthony should make. It's not against me and Joanna. Obviously we can do the training, like how it works, but yeah, I'm just saying, like, we're doing it already. It's just not going to the people doing it. It's still me and Joanna doing it, you know what I mean? So that's just my thought.
The process today, they're submitting you an expense sheet with all their expenses, and then you're going into NetSuite and putting those in manually, correct?
Right after the pay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, sheet.
And then I take them off the sheet, and I put them on my sheet to balance it.
Yeah.
And then I take it from there, and then I have to put it into JustWorks for payroll. And then Cindy then goes in and takes my sheet and then enters it into NetSuite.
No, I take it from JustWorks. Whatever pay
you take it from
amount.
JustWorks,
yes,
and then you
correct.
put it in there.
Yes, and I compare it, and I go back in the sheet. So it's like 2 extra steps for Joanna and me to do as of now. And we've been doing this for a while, and I just feel like it's unnecessary. And when we have the function right there, and I'm entering by one, when all these people can do themselves, and it saves so much time. And it's already there. It's just, we just need to execute it to everybody.
Yeah. What doesn't exist today is a policy for when receipts are required.
Right.
What doesn't exist today is a policy that says, not only when receipts, but what amount. What doesn't exist today is an infrastructure for someone to upload receipts.
Yeah, they probably sent an email already. The policy's there. I feel like it just need to be organized in NetSuite instead of just emailing us.
Right, but I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
What I'm getting to is and then formal approval authorities, but like that's a part of a process that needs, when we say is probably there, that's a process that we need to design and be very clear and articulate to the organization how it needs to work. And so what I'm what I'm trying to get to is,
you don't want the process executed until we have everything in place.
correct. I don't want to just.
You don't
right,
want to do
that's what my
trial
head's
and error. That's what you're saying, basically.
What's that?
You don't want to do trial and error. You don't want to start people doing it and then, is that what's...
No, but if it's, what I would say is, if I have my luxury, and this is what I want to work out with you, I'd rather say, let's just design the whole entire process, roll it all out together, and say, here's how everything's going to work, and get everyone to do things the right way. And it would be, that process has to be designed, communicated, and articulated, and enforced.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a big lift that, we all need to do. We're not ready for that. And so that's the right way to do it. If it's really important to you both, and you're like, you know what, maybe we can do it in 2 stages. The first stage could be just replicate what you're doing today, and just put the numbers in NetSuite. And then if we want to hold off on that second part of like approvals, and I'm okay if we want, if that part's important to you, then we can do it in 2 steps, is what I'm ultimately saying. That's where I'm seeking feedback.
That's up to, I have no opinion. It's up to you, Cindy.
Okay, I don't know. I feel like we have it in place and it just needs to go to people. But you're saying like you want this, and like making sure everyone is the same page. I feel like we could just do trial and error, what works, what
There's
doesn't.
no trial and error. There's no trial and error. We design a process. We tell everyone how it works.
Okay.
And so
Because we're learning too. Like this NetSuite is new to me and join it too. It's like we're not pros at it as of now. So and we never got training to. You keep saying training, but we haven't really. We just went in and did it, right?
Yeah, we figured it out ourselves. We weren't trained on how to use the software.
Yeah, nobody trained us in NetSuite to do it. Basically, Rob was doing like putting everything in place so we can build it. Like I had to figure out how to get reports. Like there's no training that's happening.
Yeah.
And obviously, Anthony's going to be really nice and show me what he's been doing. Other than that, like there's no training. Cause like when you ask him about budget, like he doesn't know. He only knows like how to get that template, and that's it. That's all Rob told him. So we have to figure it out. Or if I don't get it, like I'm gonna go to Rob, or me and Anthony gonna go to Rob, or something like that.
Yeah.
So other than that, that's yeah.
Got it. But getting back to this one, Cindy, you're getting at things like, and I don't know if we're going to get an answer right now, and I don't know if.
Because nobody taught me to do expense report on NetSuite. I figured it out myself, and I knew like when I missed an accounting approval, I had to go back. I'm like, oh, that's why it's missing. Like you find that check and balance. That's the only way.
Yeah.
Like I have to do trial and error. Oh, like you figure it out. Oh, I made a mistake. Out of 100 expense report, 1 was off or 2 was off. I was off by 20 cents or something like that.
Yeah.
So we have to do that. Like nobody's going to teach me, so I have to figure it out myself. You have to,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm good. I think what
so we as a team, we're gonna have to work together and figure it out.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I have some experience. I have sort of my questions are coming from experience, but I want this whole team a part of it, and working with an organization isn't going to be trial and error. We're going to design a process. We're going to roll it up. We're going to understand how it works, and so we're just not there yet.
Right.
And so my one question for you, and I'm open, is to take this thing in 2 steps, and it may be and I'm open to like until we're able to do all the correct process, procedures, controls, roll it out the way it formally should. Like I'm open to thinking about people just at least putting in the expense inputs themselves right now.
Right.
If you were like, that would be a huge help.
Yeah, because I'm also doing Amex expense, which is taking me a while too, and I'm only accruing that portion of that statement to that, so I had to get those out quickly, and obviously I was slower this year, for sure, right, Joanna? You probably would see this.
I'm not replying.
Yeah, because the process is totally different now, for sure, than in QuickBooks. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm doing
All right.
everything in spreadsheet, so it's like it's a lot of weight, but we'll get through it. Yeah. Hopefully
Yeah,
together. And
I-
obviously, I know you have different experience and knowledge and different lens, and obviously we're willing to listen, and hopefully it will make our process easier and faster. That's
That's the goal. We're all going to do it
yeah.
together. Because my personality is you guys are owning and leading it. You're going to be part of the process, part of you figuring out. I'm going to give my lens, and
Yeah.
then a new person coming in will give their lens, and so it's the whole team figuring it out.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out in the interim. I think where my on the expense thing, it's a question mark. We get to the full. I think that's something. I'm just going to put a question mark because we got to think about what we do.
Yeah.
The second force is where I just want your feedback as well. All the Salesforce integration, I am just going to put all that on hold because I just think the risk of I want this team to be part of it. I want a new person to be part of it and own it. I want you guys to be part of it. And so I'm just going to recommend that Salesforce integration with NetSuite, we just stop and we don't do that.
We're not even close. We didn't even begin the process.
Okay.
I think there was a team that was agreed upon to do the developer team,
Yeah.
but we can't even have that conversation until Liz is done with what she's doing in Salesforce.
Okay.
So we haven't even dabbled into that at all.
All right, so that's not even worth talking. I mean, we will, and I'll support it, but it's just not worth. It's not worth talking about. I'm really just thinking about the transition with Anthony as we work through things. The AC on the invoices, ACH on the invoices. That I'm sort of same thing. I'm sort of mixed on it because we're not. I don't know where we are, and I don't want to just partially roll something out. Anthony's gone, and we're left with this void that no one knows how it works. So that's mostly what's in my head. Whether we just put that one on hold until the person comes in and works with you to sort of design and own it. That's where my head is. I'm interested in your feedback on that approach.
That's already done.
It's already done.
Everything is already completed. They have all the today they'll have all the paper because Bob signed the last piece. The process is already implemented. It'll be done within the week. That cannot wait 90 days. There are so many clients getting upset with us because they don't have, and I have to manually recreate in our old system an invoice that they have a payment link.
Okay, so
I highly recommend we get that done immediately. I mean, that's not even something that requires a best practice or any type of discussion. It's just they're just going to put it on there and then that's it. There's no rules or regulations or anything along that line. It was just finding a company that would take us on with our current revenue status because we were denied on multiple occasions because we were negative.
Okay, so that's moved forward. The Salesforce integration is on hold anyways because it's a couple months for Liz. That won't get done. And then the expense thing. I know it's a pain point. Today. I'm going to just leave that as a sort of question mark because Cindy and Joanna, we will automate it. We will implement it. What we need to do it right is we need to do controls. We need to design the process. We need to educate the organization. Mm-hmm. And so the question is, what do we do in the interim? And that's a little bit of an outstanding item.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Because I was promised this was going to get done in January. But here we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, we'll just start with not everything's ideal and moving at the exact pace. We will get there. All this will be automated. I think that the question is, do we do it partially now or do we just do it right?
It's not partially. I don't think it's partially. It's just getting...
It is partially.
How? Just because...
Because you should be able to have controls in the system. You need to have approvals. Who approves what?
Yeah, we upload that. We upload that already with the names of the people who are their managers. So operations team is probably the biggest. If there's 3 people are going to be approval. I forgot their names. Probably Brian is probably one of them. Is going to approve who all those lists. Like Rajiv is probably one of them. Mary.
Okay.
Like we have the list. We already uploaded. Rob helped us with that. I don't know if you, yeah. So it's already in there. It's just, and then we have those as employees, so they have access to their management portal.
Got it.
It's already there.
So you built out approvals already.
Yes.
So people can do, I don't know what the approval authority is, but you built up some kind of approval hierarchy, so people can literally type in their expenses.
Yeah.
And there's approval in there.
Yeah.
Got it. I got it. So that's in there. Can people upload the receipts?
Yes. Me and Joanna upload like backups all the time, so yeah, it's there.
And how do the uploads get there? They send it to you and you upload it, or
no? They should upload themselves. Like we can do it too.
They can have it scanned in their system, and they can just drag it into this like box.
It's under communications or something. Yeah.
Got it.
Or we can make it easier and tell Rob to put it on the front page, how we see on journal entries, right? You see it on your side, Joanna?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he made it easier for us.
Invoices.
Yeah, because my previous job, like, that was an option. So that was really helpful, I think, instead of clicking a lot of buttons.
Got it. So that functionality is built out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Got it. So the only thing that's not built out really is the mobile. I don't know what the policies are. I don't know what the hierarchy is, but the ability to the phone app part and scan things on your phone isn't quite built out. But
I don't know. That's a question for Rob. Yeah, he did tell us there is a mobile app, right, Joanna? Remember he said that he's like, and that's I downloaded it too. So, we're just gonna I haven't tested because I don't have expenses. So, yeah.
Got it, Cindy. So you'd like to roll that out.
Yeah, maybe some help with you and or Anthony.
Well, it's gonna be you own it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be supporting you with Joanna.
You're not gonna send it to the employees and saying.
Yeah, no, the whole communication. That's all part of it. Like, how do we communicate? How do we? Like,
I thought you were gonna reach out to the people, or HR is gonna reach out to everybody as a blast email, blast Slack, or something like that.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
You don't want to do that, okay?
No. You said I didn't want to do that. No. I didn't say that.
Okay.
I said I haven't. I haven't thought through it. It sounds like the functionality.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's probably me just better understanding. Maybe I set up some time with you and you can walk me through what exists.
Yeah, I showed you on Friday what it looks like. Remember? Like now it's on a spreadsheet.
That was helpful. That was part of the functionality, but it sounds like more exists than what I saw.
What do you mean? What more exists?
I didn't see how approvals work, for example.
It's a button. I showed you. There's a button for accounting approval. There's a button for supervisor approval. And obviously, I'm not a supervisor. I can't see what they see because I see everything. Yep. I see the financials, and I don't know what their portal looks like until like one of them logs in, and I feel like it's a test and try thing.
You know what might help is if we got Rob on board, and we got a call with David, and have him show us how it works from a not a supervisor, an associate,
yeah.
And the processes that they have to go, and have them run the whole process with us. He'll do it.
Yeah.
It's up to you, David. Do you think that would work?
Yeah, I think it's worth while seeing it. I think what's mostly going through my head is the functionality here, and can we roll it out correctly?
Mm-hmm.
But seeing what we have today would be great.
Okay. All right.
Anything
else?
I'll connect with you after the call, Cindy. We'll get something going.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool. That's probably it.
Okay.
What is going on here?
Because I remember when we did the walkthrough, I don't know if you remember, Joanna, like, there was some functions that didn't work, so like and then he just made it happen that same time. So yeah, that would be
He does.
great.
So yeah, so you're basically buying a template, like a shell, and you have to just create it.
Right.
So when Anthony goes, we go in there and Anthony's on there and he's like, okay, so this is the template. What do you want?
Right.
And he just did blah blah blah
Blah,
blah
blah,
blah,
blah.
and he put everything.
He's like, this is
needed.
what we
So
want, and then you just add it and
yes.
additionally in the back end.
So all the features are there.
Right.
We just have to like put it in our process. I've never seen it, so
Oh, you
I
haven't.
have to see it anyway.
That's the thing. Like I did it for the full month of February.
Oh, I saw what you did.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
know how it works for the.
So I'm saying, since I can do it, they can do it too, and it's working. And get that, because I'm the one testing it, and but yeah, we can just do this extra step and wait, I guess. Okay. Anything else?
No. Where did we land on that one? Probably for everyone's benefit.
Okay.
Where do we land on the next steps with the expenses?
I'm gonna see. I think it makes the most sense for you to see what the process currently is before you're 100% on board with executing part of it.
Right.
Yeah.
So my recommendation is Cindy and I will get with Rob and see if you can do a demo on what the platform looks like from an associate perspective.
Okay.
And if you were able to jump on that call and you felt that this is the right move, then we'll move forward with just doing that piece until the new person comes in, and then we set like a good process for
Maybe this should happen after the close. What do you think?
Yeah, for sure.
So like before the close, we can just 3 of us, and I can show you what I do for expense report and what they should be seeing. We can do that first before we go to Rob.
Great. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, I think you're right. That actually really helps.
So we're on the same page before we go to Rob.
Sure.
And what we want to see. Obviously, I think like having the upload right in the Slack in the same page would be great. And maybe you guys have other opinions, and we can just come as one and go Rob.
Love it.
So like right here, this is probably where the expenses, like clicking on each, and I know you probably have a busy meeting, so like picking one of these, this is a supervisor approval, this is accounting approval, this is where the expense goes, this is where the upload goes. And it'll be nice that it uploads right here, where we have our when I do my journal entries, how it is.
Yeah.
So that's what it looks like as of now. Yeah.
Cool.
So we can walk through, because I have probably 100. I have 100 are coming for February this month. So
yeah, that'd be great to even walk through, like, for me it would be valuable to see just like real examples, like what's actually happening today. Just like people are sending it, here's what I'm doing, here's a functionality. So yeah, that'd be great. I think you guys are exactly right. That's the right place to start.
Okay, let's do that first, and then we can get our opinions together, or what we want, a list, and then go to Rob. Okay? All right, sounds good.
And so feel free to do it after the close.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
okay. All right, good.
Very cool. I think also at one point, just 2 minutes, I think we do a weekly leadership team meeting, and we talk about a whole bunch of stuff that's going on in the organization. I'd like to make sure that this team is in the loop. Does Anthony typically share updates from that meeting, or what? How does communication happen to you?
He lets us know what we need to know. Yeah, he doesn't like. We used to do group meetings, and then I feel like things just got to be so rushed with this Salesforce implementation, or not Salesforce, NetSuite. And we just got off tracks, and then he started meeting with us individually on one-on-one.
Yeah. Okay.
But I personally think it's better if whomever connects with me and Cindy together, so we're all on the same page.
Yeah. All right. Well, here's what I'd like to do. Therefore, is I'd like to do. We do a leadership team meeting on Tuesdays, and I'd like to just set up a meeting, just a half hour, just to do a share out, just a team check in and a share out of like, here's the things that I'm hearing about that are valuable for this team to know. And so I think I'll just do a weekly meeting with the 3 of us. and I'll either do it on a Tuesday afternoon or a Wednesday morning, sometime after the leadership team meeting.
Okay, that works.
Does that work?
Yeah, thank you.
And I think, I'm not sure, Bob's out this week, so I'm not sure if the leadership team meeting is happening tomorrow. So I think we'll just start it next week.
Okay.
So is your leadership meeting, is that every week or every month?
Yeah, we do it every week at Tuesday. It's 10 to 11:30.
Okay.
That's that exec meeting, Cindy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I have no clue what you were talking about.
Yeah, it's the exec meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I'll either throw something on a calendar for Tuesday afternoon after the meeting or Wednesday morning, one of the two.
Okay.
And I'll just put a recurring weekly. And then it's also an opportunity for all of us to sort of just catch up all the different things going on as well.
Okay.
Cool.
Yep, cool.
I just did the payroll and I double checked it and now I'm not balancing. I'm like, why? And I went through everything and I just found out it's Chad Groves. So I looked in sorry, I'm talking out loud. I looked in his payments, his view payments for pending, and they're all there, but they're just not showing up on the total invoice. Why? His commission, his expense, and his salary are all scheduled for the 31st, but it's not showing on the invoice.
Is it just him?
It's just him. There's got to be a glitch in the system because 45 minutes ago it was showing. And I keep on like logging off and logging back on and deleting my cookies, and it's just not showing up. So I emailed Elizabeth. Hopefully she gets back to me within the next 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
yeah, she's really
sometimes
helpful.
the computers are awful.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm freaking out now. All right, so everything is in but Chad apparently.
Okay. Let me know if there's
we should be
anything,
good to go.
any help. But.
Yep, and then you want to do I started that. Do you want to do the call with Rajiv today?
Yeah, for sure. See if you can find some time.
Okay, take a look.
Yeah, I gotta run to 2:30. Otherwise, I would just stare at my calendar at the same time.
Okay.
No, it's fine. I can do that. It's not a big deal.
Feel free to poke me or whatever.
You don't reply to Slacks.
So that's not ideal. Well, it isn't. So I think I just gotta learn how everyone communicates. So.
No, I'm messing. I am just messing around.
Fair messing around. I think I get so many Slacks that I ignore a bunch of stuff, and so that doesn't work either.
Oh, good night. He is blocked until 5:30.
I got a meeting with him.
Tomorrow.
We'll do it tomorrow. You can poke me. I can move things around. I just got to run to 2:30.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
All right, bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thanks for all catching up.